Today I'm going to make a nice buckwheat noodle stir fry with plenty of vegetables, some hazelnuts to get a little bit more extra protein into it. So again, very simple, quick little dish here. Now what we're going to need for this one is 80 grams of buckwheat noodles, also called Soba noodles. Now the thing when you're cooking these guys, I've pre-cooked them in a little bit of salty water. Just use plenty of water. Cook them for about 5 minutes and then drain them off with cold water. But make sure when you put them into the water that you move them around quite a bit because they do have a tendency to try to stick together. I have about 120 grams stem broccoli. I have about half a courgette. I just cut this into batons, just kind of take bite-sized pieces. I have a half a red pepper. Again, kind of bite-sized, small bite-sized pieces, just chopped. I have about 70-80 grams of just spinach. And what I've also used, just add a little bit of sweetness to the dish without using sugar. I have about 50 grams of chopped dates. And I also am going to use about 10 grams of chopped ginger and about 5 grams of chopped chili. You can adjust these to your taste. Keep the ginger, again, a very highly anti-inflammatory ingredient, as is the chili for that matter, but you mightn't want it too spicy, so you can adjust that yourself. I'm going to just in seasonings use a little bit of rice wine vinegar. I'm also going to use a bit of light soy sauce and some coconut oil to season or to cook with. Again, it's especially when you're doing these kind of stir-fry dishes, stick with the coconut oils. They do a great job on it. So there we have it. So to cook this dish, what I'm going to first of all do is add about a teaspoon of coconut milk or coconut oil to my pan. You can use a wok here. I'm just going to use this pan. I'm going to let that melt down. And first of all, I'm going to put my broccoli in there and my courgettes. And let those cook. I'm actually going to add my peppers as well now at this stage because they're going to take the longest to cook. Now, this is basically a stir fry, and I'm going to add my peppers in there as well. And the term stir fry is kind of an incorrect term because when it's done properly, it's more of a steaming method. So you can just toss around in the oil just for a second your vegetables. But if you were to wait for those veg to cook in such a way, you'd be waiting quite a while. So the secret here is just add about a tablespoon of water. Get a tight fitting lid and put it onto your vegetables. And let them cook for about 30 seconds to a minute with the lid on, and they'll and that'll really speed along, and also it means that you're not going to use nearly as much oil in the cookery. So having waited about 30 seconds, I'm just going to lift off my lid, and as you can see, that's really moved along very quickly already. The next thing I'm going to add is my dates, my garlic and my chili. Or not my garlic, excuse me, my ginger and my chili. I'm just going to get those hot and infuse among all of those ingredients just for a second, allow them to cook out. If you think your pan gets a little bit dry, don't add oil, add water. And that'll keep everything good and fresh and allow those flavours to infuse. Next thing I'm going to add is my noodles. And just nice and gently, you don't want to break them up. Allow them to kind of mix through those vegetables. And you want them to get down towards the bottom of your pan as well. And this is a very fast method for cooking. And as you can see, that's just working together nicely. Now I'm going to add in my hazelnuts. which have been peeled. You don't necessarily have to use the peeled ones, but you can get lovely peeled and pre-toasted hazelnuts as well. And finally, I'm going to season, and this is almost done, and I'm cooking on good high heat. I'm just going to cover this up, just to allow it to all heat up and cook very, very well. I'm going to literally count to about 15, 20 seconds, which makes a big difference to this high temperature cookery. Take your lid off, and then finally I'm going to season with maybe a little dash of light soy sauce, using maybe a generous tablespoon. And that's your main seasoning with this, and that is pretty much it. It is really that simple. Your Soba noodles and buckwheat combined with your hazelnuts bring a nice level of protein into this, served with plenty of vegetables, and very, very simple and convenient meal. Oh, and just finally finished. At the very last minute, I nearly forgot, I'm just going to pop in my spinach leaves. Those baby spinach leaves literally take seconds to cook, and essentially they're salad leaf really, so they just leave them barely wilt. And there we have it, our Soba noodle hazelnut stir fry, or chow mein as you might call it.